Welcome everybody to the episode number 8 of this cycle of interviews to the best European players, the top 25 European players to qualify for the Pokemon Go Worlds in Anaheim 2025 in August. So today's guest with me is Tontonbatteuse. So welcome to the show.
Hello everyone. So my name is Thomas Martin. You know me as Tontonbatteuse in the game. I qualified for Anaheim because I was in the top 50 of World Championship points, but also because I won Gdansk this season.
Probably just a better reason to qualify for Worlds.
Yeah.
And
well, at least you're done with that. Just win a championship and it's good.
Yeah, but I mean, you had a very, very good season this year, and you started very strong, and you just got a slower pace as the months progressed. But I guess you didn't really care that much once you had everything secured. You already had won a regional early on in the season, and you had tons of points, and probably. I suppose it makes sense for you just to relax a little bit and not to take the game too seriously and maybe just save the energy for Worlds.
Yeah, it was that. Yeah, but basically you can see that in Utrecht my performance was really bad. I mean, I went 2-2. It's not that bad, but I wasn't really confident with my team at this point. I was like, yeah, if I just make a bad performance this time, it's okay. I mean, if I wanted points, I needed to make it to top 4, I think, at this point. So, and it was for 20 points, so it wasn't really important for me to try to make it a really good performance. Since I was really confident at this point. So I didn't have a good team. I didn't know what I wanted to play. It was like, yeah, just make it. Just try to get some fun. Just see your friends at this point, and you'll see later. Just save your energy for Worlds, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, your season has been really, really good. You started, your first 4 months of the season. I think probably you were like the first player in Europe on the leaderboards. And yeah, but
I think I was also the first one to hit 1,000 points at this point.
Yeah,
I don't know if I hit this one before Bartogalde. I don't remember.
That's a very good resource for sure. And I noticed. I have your teams that you have used in this season, and you in Utrecht you had a talent flame for Red Core, as well as Fieldback, as well as the winner. Oh, sorry. No, that was in Bologna. Forget it. So you had already anticipated what the best core would have been for Bologna. You already had it in Utrecht. So yeah, let's put it in this way. Yeah, but what actually didn't work in that tournament? Was that like unlucky draws or what?
It wasn't really unlucky draws. I think my team was really weak to both Cradily and Tiflosion. I was like, okay, you know what? I didn't face a lot of Cradily in GBL. And when I saw the practice tournaments, I didn't see that much of Cradily. So I was like, I just ignore that. If I saw one, I will try to manage it. And in my 4 battles, I've faced it 4 times. So at some point, it's just really hard to handle all of them. And for my very last battle, I faced Tontonbatteuse, who was playing Cradily and Typhlosion. And handling both of them was really hard for me.
Yeah, well, especially if you are playing against Tactical, you're not playing against a random player, so it's even worse.
Yeah,
it's even worse. And well, I suppose just making a call that Cradily would be underused kind of made sense because we were into the Tinkaton and Malama meta, and Cradily wasn't really solid against all those two, and they were everywhere, so it kind of makes sense. But yeah, Utrecht was also maybe the regional with the highest presence of fire types in the whole season.
Yeah.
Like if you
a lot of people were playing
Typhlosion yeah, Typhlosion and Talonflame together. I think it was way more than 30%, probably even like 40% or something like this if you sum them up. So yeah, I guess that fire type plus gradually you can't use your Stunfisk to beat the fire type because otherwise gradually just going to beat you, and your superior to manage the gradually is also bad because there are the fire types, so you have to rely basically on Lapras and Forvet, which are the best two matchups into this pair, into this core, but still not extremely solid. So especially if they had maybe like another Lapras counter as a third, maybe either Blastoise or even a fighter. Yeah, your whole team was checked basically.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And
But,
everyone was playing at this point. Everyone was playing Flame Charge on the Talonflame. I was also playing Flame Charge. And Lapras lose Talonflame if he just has one turn in advance as a Talonflame to with Flame Charge, just for Flame Charge, and you win the matchup with +2 attacks, and you're and you're fucked basically.
Yeah, and Talonflame is gonna get both shields back for sure, or just deal a ton of damage to whatever comes next. I've seen that in this season, Talonflame moveset oscillated back and forth to double flyer, to fly and flame charge. But yeah, definitely fly has to be there because it's the cheaper move, and it kind of makes sense. You can give up on Brave Bird if you think that losing Azumarill is still less detrimental for you than not being able to deal neutral damage to all those Stunfisks, to have a more solid matchup into a lot of things. Also, yes, the Lapras matchup, you kind of want Flame Charge just to use two shields, you both, and just come out of the matchup still in like yellow health with a lot of attack. And what's the team you have been the proudest of? I suppose, Gdansk, because you won, and also you had Alone Raticate with a very anti-meta role. So yeah, tell me a little bit more about Alone Raticate.
So this point, I played Alone Raticate in the GBL for like 1 month. I was playing the classic Poison Double Dark line with Clotsire, Raticate, and Pangoro, I think, yeah. And well, why I played Raticate was because you just had the counter who got nerfed on September, and it was the Monkey CD was after Gdansk, so there wasn't the Primeape or Annihilate. So your only big threat as a Raticate was the Pangoro, which not a lot of people were playing. So you had a really safe option to play as a Raticate. So you just had a safe option, and with his bulk you can beat things like Azumarill.
Yeah.
You counter the Feraligatr, the Galarian Moltres, who was really popular at this point because of Dortmund.
Yeah, and you resisting Sucker Punch and just forcing Galarian Moltres. At that time, he didn't have Fly yet, so just forcing Galarian Moltres to debuff itself if they wanted to deal you some damage. If you correctly shield the Brave Bird, you can just go straight Crunch in the two shields, and they're having a very solid matchup against Galarian Moltres. But also, I suppose a very nice Shadow Claw resistance just to have a good matchup against Feraligatr.
Yeah.
So there was a very nice role, and it is bulky enough to play head to head against other tanks like Superior, but also Clodsire, because I believe 2 Earthquake might not fully KO, so maybe they need
if I remember correctly, 2 Earthquake kills the Raticate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he needs to throw 2 Earthquake. 1 Earthquake and 1 Sludge Bomb doesn't KO, I think.
Yeah. especially if you shield the first earthquake, which I mean, if you shield the first move, which most likely is going to be the earthquake, you should just prevent yourself from being forced to shield potential sludge bomb. It's a second move, which is always annoying once you let the first move go, and then you are forced to
shield sludge bombs just before. Yeah.
Yeah, just to respect the potential KO. And yes, but overall it was a nice call. I think someone in Lille already used.
It's also a French player who was playing Eradicate at Lille.
Was it Welton? Was it Welton?
No, it was Pordalite.
Ah, okay.
So it's Pordalite. He was actually playing it because I told him to play it at this point.
Okay.
He was trying local tournaments. He was trying the shadow one. Yeah, I told him at this point to just use the regular one with return. It was better in my opinion, because you had a bulk point against I don't remember which Pokemon, but it was really important to have this break point. Otherwise, you just lose this matchup, and this Pokemon was everywhere at this point. Just don't remember which one. But you needed the normal one, and with return you can. I think it was just for small. I think.
Yeah.
Just to win the zeros.
Yeah, exactly. Just not to be forced to shield the player off.
Yeah.
If you're regular, you comfortably tank one, and they still have to throw Ice Beam at you if they want to take you out. Yeah, this was a very interesting team and also a very dominating performance. So 16 wins and 3 losses. And would you say that Eradicate was your MVP for Gdansk?
It was my MVP for day one, for sure. Well, I think I played it almost every game, but not for day two. Day two, I think I played it like once against Welton, and it was unplayable against Zvylus because he had a Pangoro, which was like his only great answer to Eradicate, Talonflame, and Starplayer. And I say great answer to Talonflame, it wasn't. I had better options at this point. I think. Yeah, Eradicate was just a good option in the first day. Day two, I was just relying on at Charger Bug, the Alligator, and Talonflame a lot.
Yeah, well, I believe so there are 2 schools of thoughts. The first school of thought says that you should build your team just to crush day 1 players, and then luck will hopefully assist you in day 2. And the second school of thought, which is the opposite, it just says that you should be skilled enough already to outplay day 1 players, so you should build on the day 2 players. So maybe I don't know which one is actually the best one. I would prefer to crush day 1 players and then hoping that everything goes my way in day 2.
For day 2, yeah.
Most of the time. Yeah, most of the time, because day 1 players are not this bad. I mean, not anymore. Not after three years of play Pokemon. Now they are good enough to realize that if they have a good matchup, they know more or less how to play it, and they are less and less prone to make bad mistakes. So if they have good alignment, they know how to keep it, and you basically lose. So the only way you have just to secure that you win against day 1 players most of the time is just building better against them. So in the end, even if you build specifically to counter the average day 2 player, which would build in a different way, but even if you do that, you're not guaranteed to win against the day 2 player. So yeah, more often than not, probably, especially because you are supposed to play more matches in day 1 than in day 2, statistically, and maybe just making sure that you have an edge on the majority of the teams you are gonna face in your regional. Yeah, probably building against day 1 players is the wiser choice. But
yeah, especially this season because you really wanted to get this top 8. Because the top 8 was giving a huge amount of points compared to top 16. So you hit top eight, and you say, okay, my tournament is already good for me. If I lose at top eight, it's fine because I already have 280 points. So I'm
Yeah,
really good for World Invite. Yeah.
yeah, and the point step between top 8 and top 6, like 20 points, I think. So
Yeah,
something like this. Yeah.
I think you get to just go between top eight and top six. You just don't. I don't think you get something more. Maybe more cash
Or maybe
prize. I
you
think.
don't. Or maybe. Oh yeah. And you
I think
get
it's only cash
300
prize.
points
Yeah.
in top 4. In top 4, you get 300 points, and then
Yeah. You get
yeah,
325 for second place and 350 for the first place.
yeah. So in the end, it's really really hard to. I mean, it doesn't really. It's not really worth it. At some point, just sweat it until the very end. You can be already very very satisfied with the top 8 every time. I mean, who
Yeah.
wouldn't? Yes, and yeah, 280 points every time plus money unless you are attending special events, plus 2 or 3 boxes that you can sell. So that's usually another at least maybe 300 €400 that you can make if you want to sell them. Of course, you can also like
Just open them if you want
yeah
to. If you like to do that. Personally, I didn't sell any of them. Just opening it. Or some of them are not opened yet. But I know when they will open all of them.
yeah. I mean, there are lots of players who actually love TCG as well, and they like to collect maybe rare illustration art or chase cards, or those ones that have been printed in a very limited amount. So yeah, for example, Scafo is one of those players I'm talking about. He likes to unpack. He really loves to unpack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, I consider I'm more of a seller myself. So because I know that if I start unpacking, I will never get out of these
Because
like
you don't know
addiction.
where to
Yeah, it will
put
be an
them. Let's
addiction
say.
for me. It will be an addiction for me because I used to love TCG so much when I was a kid. So if I start just collecting again, yeah, I will probably spend a lot of money, and I don't want to risk it. So it's just better off just okay. I want all these beautiful things out of my sight because it's too much of a temptation.
Yeah. But and behind that, if you get to top eight, you have a playmat if you want to really keep something for as a souvenir for your tournament, or a medal if you get the top four or better.
Yeah, well,
Don't really need that displays.
yeah, my only top 8 playmat that I have for this season is Stockholm, and it was a kind of fake top 8 because, yeah, we weren't this many players in the regional. I think, yeah, we were really fewer than 64. So the top 8 was just at the very beginning of day 2. And
Yeah.
I still love to keep it because it's a nice memory. And on paper, it's the best result, at least numerically. But yeah, the top 12 in London was way, way better of a result for me than the top 8 in Stockholm. So yeah, I wish I had the top 12 playmat for London, but yeah,
Yeah, I wish to. I also did the top 12, and when
Oh
you're
yes,
just one win away from the top 8 playmat from UIC and you lose this at this point, you're really sad at this point.
yeah. Well, for me, it has a different taste because I was very happy with getting some extra points for the second time in a row after a rough start, and yeah, and I had basically my qualification secured thanks to Birmingham and UIC, and then
Yeah.
Stockholm just capped off a nice season with the third good result in a row, and I was
I
already
think
happy with that.
I don't know if you got any points last season because I don't remember if you ever did tournaments. Look, I think you had rough seedings because of that also.
Yeah,
Yeah, so for next year you're good because you have more points this season. So for next year you'll have let's say a more easy start for tournaments.
Yeah, usually it's like this. I've noticed that, and So my first tournament was in Lille, and I started from round 1, and I lost immediately in round 1 because my first opponent was I don't know if you know Sefil. He's a British player.
Yeah.
And so he's actually good. It's actually good. So just I didn't have a good alignment, and my opponent was good enough just to keep his advantage. And and I went already down, and I try and climb my way up to the very end, but I faced what I might consider to be kind of maybe it was more of a nemesis like last year. But I faced Demon Cash, who kicked me out of the tournament for the second time in 6 months after he beat me in London in the losers finals of our group last year.
Oh, from last year. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then I lost again to him in Lille 6 months after. It was exactly 6 months after, because it was April and then it was October. So after that I only got 100 points, and I didn't play Gdansk because it was too close to Lille and I didn't want to travel again. And then Stuttgart, I just probably there I realized that I should have practiced more. So I actually practiced a little bit more in Stuttgart, but I didn't have what it takes in terms of how smooth your gameplay is. And so I still made some kind of mistakes. I wasn't the luckiest player, the regional, but then I just put a lot of effort in Birmingham and London and Stockholm. I did a lot of practice. Just got more and more confident with the picks and with the format, and and the results.
It paid off.
Just the results eventually came. And so let's talk about more you now. So enough about me. Is there a player you actually would love to face at Worlds to get your revenge, maybe for last year Worlds? I don't know.
I mean, I can't really say how many people I wanted to face from Honolulu, because I basically went 0-2, so I only had 2 opponents at this point. But yeah, why not playing against Rajev to get this revenge from Honolulu? But I'm just hoping it's not my first opponent, because if I lose again against him at the reverse battle, it'll be really sad. I mean.
Yeah, but I believe at some point, like it is okay to go 0-2 in Worlds. Like everyone is good enough to beat everyone else.
Yeah, you have no one who's bad. I mean, if you're at Worlds, it's for something. You earned them. You earned those points during the season, so you don't have any bad players there.
Yeah.
And you have one player out of 25% of people are going 0-2. So
I mean, and eventually everyone loses except one at the very end.
Yeah.
So that's the hard pill to swallow, but it is what it is. And even in Worlds, even very good players, like some of them are going to go 0-2, and there is nothing they can do about it. Sometimes it's just a mix of unlucky draws and unlucky lineups and unlucky RPS, or maybe just you just make your first mistake of the whole season,
and it has to be at this point.
And you make it there. So I guess we just have to take it more like with more philosophy, and just try and be already grateful for being there, and just be able to understand what actually it means to play at Worlds again. And what about players you actually would prefer to avoid, at least in your early rounds? Maybe some players that you suffer their gameplay, and you always have very, very tough matches, and you would like just to, at least for the first rounds, please, let's not do it. Maybe later, that's okay, but not now.
For the first rounds, I would say I have one player in mind, but it's not because of tough matches, because of the nationality. Because we will only be 2 French people to go to Worlds. when I speak to about right now, because we are, I think, 4 French players qualified, and we're only 2 to go. The 2 others cannot. So there's me and there's Wolfpack, and I really hope my first round isn't Wolfpack, because we are the only 2 Frenchies to go there, and if we have to face each other at the very first round, this means that or only or one of us is already on the loser bracket already. Like, you can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
I really hope just if I have to face him, I hope it's later. And gameplay wise, I'd say PvP David.
Yeah,
When I faced him at Stuttgart, I had such a huge disadvantage of a team composition. I don't know how I managed to get one game at our best of 3 for losers. No, winners finals. And I knew that when I faced Stone Collection, when Stone Co won against me, I was like, yeah. Anyway, if I won against Stone Collection, I would have lost against PvP David, and he would have won the whole tournament. So if you want to gatekeep, I mean, PvP David from this win, Stone Collection was a better better option.
Yeah. Basically, if I remember correctly, the only game you won against PvP David was when you went ABA week 2 Typhlosion in game 1.
Yeah. I went ABA week 2 Typhlosion game 1 and game 2. I had Charger Bug lead with a Serpero in the back, and he didn't have the Typhlosion in the lead.
Yeah, which makes sense because Typhlosion was mainly bench pressure Pokemon, and it's a Pokemon that is typically hard to bring, usually. And he never used it on stream, basically. So yeah, you also had this kind of information.
Yeah, he never used it. I think it was Sondudu at this point who told me that, or Joji Comics, I don't remember. Who told me that Typhlosion, he never used Typhlosion on stream. Maybe off stream he used that, but on stream he never used it. So that's why I went twice in a row, ABA week to Typhlosion. And game 3, I said no, stop that. I think he will use it at this point. Just make it ABB, something like that. A Green Ninja lead with Charger Bug and Superior. And I was right at this point. He played Typhlosion lead and maybe Diggersby in the back. No, I don't think it was Diggersby. But I lost this game anyway, because I think Toxapex was really hard for me to handle.
Yeah, especially because, so your best answers to Typhlosion were Green Ninja and Dance Pads, but he was very he was insisting on Annihilate and Diggersby and Toxapex. So your Green Ninja, your Dance Pads had very little place where to go, because Green Ninja could just fall on Annihilate and you lose the game, or Green Ninja against Toxapex. It's not a fantastic matchup, but still, not very positive, but still kind of on the losing side of the spectrum. And Dance Pass has a decent matchup against Toxapex, but it's not dominant, and there is the risk to just have Annihilate or Diggersby on it, and this is a lost game. So your only 2 good counters for Typhlosion were walled by
Annihilate.
By PvP David's favorite line in the tournament. So very, very hard. So you're right. Probably you would have lost again in grand finals, but still, I mean, you would have had more money, more points. But at that point, I mean, yes, I get that. Once you're there, your brain starts melting, and you're no longer able just to make all those sharp reads that you were able to make in day 1. And at the end of the tournament, you are just extremely tired, and you feel the fatigue at that point. Okay, I'm happy with how far I've gotten. Let's try and play as just the best that I can. But if I don't make it, who cares?
Especially this weekend, because I was hardly sick also for Stuttgart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it lasts for 2 months. I started just after Gdansk, or maybe during day 2 of Gdansk. I was really already feeling a bit sick, and it was from early November to early January. And I still went to Stuttgart because I had to drive for myself, also for four other people with me. So I still went there, really sick. And I was like, yeah, okay, you know what? If I go 0-2, I mean, I will just blame it on my sickness. And I still went third. I don't know how.
Yeah, that must
I
have
was
been
I was
rough.
literally dying on the desks on off stream. I was sleeping. Was sleeping on the desks between matches. I did one battle and I report bad score, and I went sleeping right after. I know
Yeah, well,
it was disrespectful for my opponent. I was really sick. It was really hard for
yeah,
me to handle that.
yeah, that must have been rough, regardless. I mean, both for you and for your opponents, but yeah, I guess it is what it is. Just imagine if you weren't sick, maybe you would have won Stuttgart as well.
I don't think so. I think I was really lucky to not face any Annihilate on day one.
Oh wow,
My
okay.
team was really weak to Annihilate, and I didn't face one in the first day. And day two, my first opponent, I don't. Oh, it was PvP David, so he had the Annihilate. And in the loser bracket, there wasn't any Annihilate, so I was able to manage the teams. Then I went against Stone Collection with a quadruple water team. I had the Superior, and my Superior never saw a water type, and I
Yeah,
went 0-3.
always on Dravion, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing here that you brought Talonflame or Skarmory several times. I was considering Skarmory myself. I was considering Shadow Skarmory.
Oh,
But
okay. I think regular one was better because you with the Steel Wing plus a Brave Bird, you one shot almost everything. So you didn't really needed the Shadow one. I think. I, I think Tomahawk preferred the Shadow one
yeah,
as for Skarmory. I wanted the normal one because it was bit. I think you talked. It was because you talked to the two four place from Malama, but yeah, we get from that behind that.
yeah, it wasn't that bad of a call. Just sometimes you either do a lot of practice with their pick, so that you are confident that you're gonna play well, or otherwise it doesn't really even make sense to use it if you're not super confident with it, because it can just backfire a lot of times where you misevaluate the damage range on yourself or on your opponent.
Yeah, that's something really important to play Pokemon you're really confident with. Yeah, because if you don't know the damage range or how bulky it can be or not, you have some matchups you think they are good, but sometimes they are not.
Yeah. And I'm seeing here in Birmingham you brought Shadow Gliscor or Gliscor. And
Yeah.
if I remember correctly, you lost against Deriv in the losers final in your group. So just barely missing on day two. And but Shadow Gliscor didn't seem to be this bad. Actually, kind of put decent work.
Shadow Glasgow was good. The team wasn't. The team had a hard weakness to Annihilate, but I was like, yeah, you know what? I have Azumarill. Primeape is, let's say, okay, and Gliscor was good. Well, Gliscor was good is if Annihilate doesn't have Ice Punch. I faced 7 Annihilate, and I think 6 of them had Ice Punch.
Yeah. There are some tournaments where your calls just maybe make sense, but the tournament has other plans for you. And sometimes like you are weak to some pick and you are hoping you're not face this many, and then you start facing one after another, and so on. In Stockholm, I was kind of weakish to Emolga. I faced 4 Emolga and they won.
What the?
I don't know what happened. Like there were probably 4 Emolga in the whole Stockholm, in the whole city of Stockholm. There were 4 people having Emolga in their box, and and I faced all of them.
That's insane because it was literally something no one was playing. You maybe saw one in the tournament. From every player in the tournament, you maybe see one Emolga, and like you tell me that you faced four times in one tournament is just crazy.
Yeah, that like the tournament before. So it was London, and I faced only one Emolga, and it was from nickname in day 2.
Okay.
And before that, in Birmingham, I think Emolga would have been a great pick to use because there were a lot of like you could have a lot of play against Marowak. You did have some play, and you didn't really need discharge, especially because discharge was still 45 energy. And so
you just played double flying type.
Yeah. So having double flying, it was actually nice against Legacy because you won the 0. And it was kind of decent against Clodsire as well because you always outpaced. If you safe swapped Emolga, you outpaced Clodsire to the Stone Edge, so you could just keep it close at least and be just stalling the timer, then switching out again. And you didn't need discharge because you already were good enough into Feraligator, just go straight aerial ace. And but you lost against Asumuru, you lost against Dugong, but still, it's not as if you didn't have any play against those two. So you did have a lot of play with Emolga, and eventually I just decided I wasn't brave enough, and I decided not to use it. But I believe it would have been a great Pokemon to run. And also Birmingham was the Wigglytuff meta, but not everyone used Wigglytuff. But
I remember. Yeah, I think I faced it twice, something like that. Yeah, I didn't have I don't think I had a fire type or a steel type to manage them, so people were just safe swapping it to me.
Yeah, that was very annoying because at that period, Clodsire had almost disappeared, and not many Talonflames around. And I believe, the only poison type really was just Drapion, and you still had the decent matchup against Drapion with your Wigglytuff. So I think it was a good call. I was happy to bring Wigglytuff both in Birmingham and London. I think he did a lot of good work. But after Tinkaton came, I just realized I couldn't really. I mean, Tinkaton after, but also after the update, Swallowed became extremely popular. And also Sandslash just came back a little bit. And when Sandslash came back, so I just decided it was a longer time for Wigglytuff to shine. So let's have a chat about NAIC. What your feelings are after seeing the matches? Is there any Pokemon that surprised you positively and the Pokemon that surprised you negatively?
So I would say for NAIC, I didn't watch a lot of battles because it was the same weekend as the Go Fest from Paris, and I did the Go Fest all 4 days. So the only battles I saw was on Saturday in evening. I saw maybe 3 or 4 battles. One from Dunburg. I don't remember which one he was playing. I saw Patoman going to day 3. Same. I don't remember against who. But I didn't watch a lot of battles at this point because I was really exhausted with Go Fest.
Yeah.
So I just maybe took a look at the teams. I saw that Patoman went to day 3 with Greninja, which really surprised me.
Yeah, I think. Well, I would have never expected Greninja in this kind of meta, and probably we won't be seeing Greninja ever again.
Yeah, because my process with beta, the current beta was like I saw a lot of Fortress in the GBL, but I only had GBL experience in this season. I did never tried to do a show 6 or something like that. So I just saw one Fortress every 2 teams, something like that. A lot of Scizor.
So basically, what I can say, I guess, for this meta is just we saw 8 Greninjas, so even probably 7 more than I was expecting. 8 Greninjas and only 3 Araquanids. I don't think anyone would have expected to see these few Araquanids. So yeah, but yeah, from the next time is going to be probably disappearing from the meta again, because we saw how good Araquanid is, how good is now able to farm things down, and because of course now Bugby deals more damage. You wouldn't be able to farm players down before, especially with the quicker timer. So 1 bubble beam and now maybe 2 bubble beams and farming down wasn't a thing, wasn't possible. But now that Bugby hits harder, you can just do 1 bubble beam and potentially just farm it down all the way down. And that makes it very, very dangerous. Also, you resist bullet punch from a Shadow Caesar.
You just improve your team's bulk with bubble beam also. I mean, it reminds you of the old Steelix from last year. You have something bulky who debuff opponent's attack, so and who deals a lot of damage with fast moves.
Yeah, sorry, it's definitely a menace in this meta now, and Dedenne is able to stop it, of course, but potentially there are some Pokemon you can try and do kinda, well, maybe not really, but some soft ABA, not this soft, because if you give Dedenne too much space, it's just gonna snowball into your team. But maybe something you already have some decent coverage for Dedenne, and you lose that matchup, but not this bad. So yeah, I'm thinking potentially Acid Tentacruel actually loses the 1s and the 2s against Dedenne, unless you have Acid Spray. So maybe if you're running Tentacruel double nuke, you can safely just play the Zero Shield.
Yeah, that's something you can. Yeah, because Power Body Charge probably doesn't KO, and he probably needs like 8 or 7 Thunder Shock behind that. I don't really know, because I didn't play Dedenne a lot. I saw a lot of people playing it. Sorry?
I was saying don't do it because it's not good.
Oh, it's not good. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
Of course it's very good, but I don't like the way it behaves in the meta. It just forces a lot of choices. Even if you are the one using it, you're always afraid to get. So it's not a Pokemon I would use like peacefully, But yeah, there will be a lot of players who will actually just be happy about using the Den and just praying that it won't end up on the ground type or the poison type. So do you think you would bring the Den in Worlds if Worlds started next week?
Most likely, yeah. With like 5 answers to Diggersby, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense. And you still will face players who won't be afraid of using Diggersby just because they know that you have 5 answers to Diggersby, so most likely you're gonna use the Den for this reason.
And they will still use Diggersby because Diggersby is just good because of his stat product, not because of his typing.
Yeah. And the debuffs also help a lot. Like potentially you're able to flip a lot of things.
Yeah. And just get Scorch inside the buff. You'll flip something.
Yeah, I've seen so many times. Yeah, just so many times. I was Azumarill into Diggersby, and I got debuffed the first move, and and I was forced to throw 2 ice beams. I couldn't just bubble down. In some scenarios, it was really annoying. Yeah, and I believe Diggersby is still extremely good. But I don't know, now with all these Arachnids, if we will see more and more Arachnids. I really have no idea. And how much time do you spend in your team building when you're preparing for regional? So this season, for example.
Actually, it depends on the meta. Because at the beginning of the season, I had way too many ideas, so I just had to choose one. And at the middle of the season, so around Birmingham, Utrecht, and UIC, I spent a lot of time for team building because I wasn't really sure what to play at this point. I was like, no, I'm too weak to Anaheim, I'm too weak to something else. There are too many things to try to avoid or to counter. And I didn't have this feeling when you have your team, you just see your six Pokemon and you're like, yeah, I like this team. I didn't have this feeling. For example, for Utrecht, I saw my 6 Pokemon. I was like, no, there's nothing nice, nothing spicy, nothing I really like to play, and I still went with this team and it ended up with not that good of a result. But I didn't have any other ideas. I probably spent like, let's say for the last day, I probably spent like 4 or 5 hours of trying to find something just to say not playing the meta or playing the team I found, and I still played something I didn't like.
Yeah, well, this season, with the exception of Utrecht, you've been one of those symbolic players to bring always at least one very surprise Pokemon that could just break some main ideas just went fine together. Yeah, just went well together. For example, you brought Greninja in Lille, and you brought it again in Stuttgart. But also, you were using Cresselia in Dortmund, I think. Yeah, and also in Lille.
Yeah, it was a really bad call.
Yeah,
I think it was because
a lot of alligators, right? So
yeah, there was a lot of alligator, and it was a bad call. I don't know why I did that play. Cresselia. I should have just brought the Superior at this. Yeah, I don't know why I played Cresselia. There was no reason. Just wanted to play it because for Lille, I wanted to play it with Future Sight because I was like, yeah, it's like a grass type with a coverage for Ariados. But for Dortmund, I don't remember why I put Cresselia. I almost never played it.
Okay, so despite your surprise pick are always surprising, not always they are good, but despite this, you almost always do accept excellent results. So maybe just having this or that pick still just puts a little pressure into your opponents, and maybe they are trying to play different, just to play differently. For example, the Steelix in London. So there was a time last year when Steelix was everywhere, and they had to nerf it because of how dominant it was. So why did you decide to use it again in a non-Steelix friendly meta, at least apparently?
So I think I was trying to build something with Dragonite for UIC. So I played Dragonite in GBL just to see some matchups.
Yeah.
And I saw someone playing Steelix who just literally wall on my whole team because I was playing Dragonite Double Water, something like that. And I tried to, so I was like, yeah, okay, I'll try to build something with Steelix. I was checking every Pokemon used in the previous tournament. So US it was Birmingham, the previous one, yeah. And you had plays against almost everything, but it's not Marowak. Even Annihilate wasn't that bad because you can safe swap Steelix. The opponent come with Annihilate. If you get a Psychic Fang that he doesn't shield, you can shield farm down, or you just do the overway. If he shields, you just let it go.
Yeah.
You're doing the Annihilate game, but with Steelix, basically.
Yeah. and I believe it was still a decent Pokemon, just able to break the Drapion water core. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
it was
you still kind of take a lot of damage from Drapion, but the regular Steelix, I think it was way better into Drapion.
yeah, because you can tank 3 Aqua Tails. The Shadow one cannot.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So,
And yeah, it was one of the very few core breakers to Drapion as a mole.
yeah. So now it makes sense why you use it. Did you actually use it in your games, London?
Yeah, I used it a lot. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I think the one person who I played really was sure to play it was against the Howie. He had Clodsire, and his 5 other Pokemon were weak to Steelix. Like,
Okay.
but really weak. Like, if you have Steelix against one of them, he cannot do anything. Like, it was something like Ariados, Azumarill, Flying type, I don't remember which one. But I had a really dominant Steelix as long as it's not against the Clodsire.
Yeah. And still, even against the Clodsire, at
And
least you
still,
had Psychic Fangs and maybe
yeah.
Earthquake.
No, it was Psychic Fast Break It Swipe.
Okay. So
I wanted
double
Break It Swipe
pay.
just for the damage against Drapion, and in case you get the debuff, just improve your team bulks.
Yeah, it makes sense. Otherwise, just Drapion, you are either too slow with Earthquake or just you don't deal any damage with Psychic Fangs. So yeah, that kind of makes sense. So let's talk about your local scene now. So how easy was for you this season to attend any cups and challenges? Did you have a decent amount of like Pokemon stores that regularly host tournaments?
So in Paris we have free, I think. Yeah, you have 3 stores, so we can get like 3 challenges per month and 1 cup per 3 cups per trimester.
That's good.
Yeah, we're all lucky to have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also are lucky to have someone who is organizing all the tournaments. She's not playing a lot of PvP, but she's doing all the organization, the judges things, etc. To have all these challenges and cups. I mean, without her, we should have we probably would have nothing.
Okay, so yeah, very very huge thank you for
to Marie. Yeah.
for Marie. And and also that it's a very nice and safe playground where you can just try some strategy you want to implement for your regionals, and you want to see how actually Skarmory or Gliscor are doing in the meta right now, and you can just bring them in your next local and see how they perform.
Yeah, that's what I use the local tournaments for. I'm just using really spicy things. I had ideas when I wanted to team building for a tournament. I'm just trying these spicy things. Sometimes they don't work, or just give me the idea to okay, this one is a good idea. I'll just use it in my next tournament.
Yeah, for example, I'm pretty sure you used Ampharos in one of your challenges.
So yeah, I used Ampharos I think for 5 or 6 locals in a row. For every locals it was good, and I went to Stockholm and I didn't play it because I didn't know. I wasn't really confident about myself. I didn't know what to play. I wasn't really sure about my team building, so I just asked to Sandodo to help me for team building and just send me just take my UIC team, you'll be fine. I wasn't fine. But when I went back to my opponent's team, I was like, what if I had Ampharos at this time? Yeah, Ampharos was basically destroying all the teams I faced, except maybe PP David because he had Altaria, which was a really good matchup. But Ampharos was really good. I mean, it was a tournament where Polasha won with Magnezone. So electric type wasn't a bad idea.
Yeah, and also I mean, you resist all the moves from Magnezone, and of course Magnezone resists all yours, but at least
You had brutal swing to
yeah.
fight back.
Oh
You
yeah,
just
true,
got.
true.
It's just that you get you just CMP tie every time, but Magnezone win the CMP against Ampharos.
Yeah.
And in a wild charge from Shadow Magnezone against Shadow Ampharos, yeah, that makes like 75%. So yeah, you resist, but it's still not a good matchup for you.
Okay, so you were using Shadow for us. Yeah, okay. So in that
Yeah, it's
case,
a Shadow one, yeah.
kinda makes
It's also
sense.
Shadow one just to two-shot Gligar.
With one Trailblaze and one Brutal Swing, or
Yeah, something. I think it was that. Yeah, it was 1 year ago, so I don't really remember. But yeah, I had Trailblaze and Brutal Swing. I think I do one Trailblaze, a shield. If it's a dig, you can farm down, something like that. Because everyone was using Shadow Gligar,
yeah,
and the Volt Switch was putting a lot of pressure, even against the ground type.
yeah. And just imagine if they had released this moveset for Ampharos in the Noctowl Trevenant Lantern Mesa. Yeah, that would have been a Supreme Core breaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was too early for that. What's your favorite Pokemon? Is it still Shaman? Like, you seem to have on your Discord avatar Shaman.
So I have my profile picture is Shamin for Discord and Twitter, but it's not my favorite Pokemon. My favorite one is Drillbur.
I guess if you had a gym, if you were gym leader, so would you use Excadrill, so a ground steel gym, or what
If I
else?
had to choose one type, it would be either the ground type or the ice type.
Okay, you can use both if you want. You can use two types.
Let's say ice ground, so I can play Mamoswine pretty easily. I mean that's that's my both of them are my favorite typing. Ice type for first type and ground type is the second one.
Okay. Yeah. Still, you never brought Kanto Marowak this year. Why's that?
Oh, I
Because
mean,
you love ground types, but yeah, you didn't trust Kanto Marowak.
so I didn't bring the Grand Marowak because until the Team Rocket, I mean, I didn't have Grand Marowak at the earlier this season. Yeah.
Okay.
I
In that
evolved.
case, makes sense.
Yeah. At some point, you were able to evolve the Shadow Cubone into Alolan Marowak.
Yeah. Yeah, from
And
Birmingham, right?
I did all of them into Alolan Marowak. And then you just see the move update. You see that Mudslap got hardly buff. I check my Cubone. Yeah, they're all gone. Yeah, I was seeing Nighttime Crasher playing Shadow Marowak in the US. I was like, yeah, maybe I would have used it in Dortmund, but I just don't have it. So I had to wait until the Team Rocket takeover in mid-November. So it was after Dansk.
Yeah.
And then I didn't even played it.
Yeah, I mean,
But
you
for
were
the
already.
for the three first tournament, I wasn't able to play Shadow Mark because I didn't have it.
Okay, but if you had it available, probably you
I
were.
would have played. Yeah, I would have played all three tournaments because it was way too good.
Yeah, yeah. But still, you recognize how strong it was Kanto Marowak because you had three very strong counters in Birmingham. You had Azu, Dugong, and Glasgow. And Glasgow, I don't know if actually probably Shadow Glasgow dies from two rock slides.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. But you outpace it to the nuke. I don't know if you had earthquake or if you had like nice.
It was it was RELS earthquake.
Okay. Yeah, so you probably still win every shit scenario. Okay, so looking forward for post Worlds, do you already envision? Do you already predict there is something that will have to be nerfed because it's way too way too strong, or maybe something that will have to be powered up because it's still underwhelming and actually would be a nice addition to the meta?
It's a good question. It's not something I'm really thinking about. I mean, probably the only thing I can see getting nerfed is the Mudslap and or Astonish. I mean, and even Astonish right now is not that bad. It was really bad when they released the Galarian Corsola. Yeah, I don't really know. Don't really know.
Mm.
I really didn't really check which moves can be buffed or nerfed for the next season, and especially right now I don't really know the meta. Or don't really know the meta, so I don't really know what is way too powerful or way too bad.
Okay, there's still time for you to figure it
Oh,
out.
maybe
Still.
maybe Bug Bite. I mean, it was in GBL only for Fortress. I was thinking that Bug Bite was a bit too oppressive.
Yeah.
It's a Dragon Breath clone, so and you don't have the double resistance from a fairy type, for example.
Yeah. So, and basically having Fortress with a bug Dragon Breath means that, yeah, so you are still a dragon with a very impressive fast move, but
Yeah.
you're
And you're
way,
still bulky.
and you are way bulkier
Yeah.
than any other dragon. So,
I had this impression because when I was playing Dusclops or in any ghost type, I was like, oh, okay, that's a good matchup. And you saw all the bug bite doing all the damage on your Dusclops, so you're like, wait. I mean, I resist that. I'm something bulky, and I just saw my HP just going so fast with
yeah.
something that I'm supposed to resist.
Yeah, that's the drawback of having a Pokemon with a lot of defense, but yeah, something like 98 HPs. So yeah, your
Ouais,
health
yeah.
goes down very quickly with the one turn fast moves, doesn't it? Okay, do you play any other games outside of Pokemon Go?
Mario Kart. No, I think a
Very
lot of
good game.
some people. Yeah, I think some people know. We had a few sessions of Mario Kart with Totectical, Patoman, back
Oh,
in
cool.
yeah, it was maybe last year. They were like, what the fuck, Tonton is good in Go. He's also good in Mario Kart. I mean, Mario Kart. I'm playing Mario Kart since like I'm 6 years old. I'm 26, so I have 20 years of experience of Mario Kart.
Yeah, very good title.
And
Mario
yeah,
Kart.
if you remove Mario Kart and Pokemon, back in the day, I was playing a lot of Call of Duty.
Okay.
For during like 10 years, I stopped at Black Ops 4, I think, because of skill-based matchmaking, who went really hard in public battles. So I just stopped playing that.
Okay, yeah. I'm not a lover of war games or just third-person shooting games. I'm not even that good. I'm more of a platform game fan myself. So yeah, Mario 64 was probably my favorite game all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So I
I'm from
played this one
another
only on
generation.
DS.
I'm older. I'm from a
Yeah.
different generation. So,
I didn't
well,
even have the 64, so the Mario Kart 64, I only played this one in DS. It
yeah,
was a good one.
yeah. It's extremely successful, like saga that never dies for sure.
Mm.
So, Thomas, we are about to close the interview, but you have some space to tell the audience where they can find you, where they can follow your journey, and if you do some coaching, this is the space where you can just tell us how to contact you.
So if you want to contact me, I'm on Twitter. So the same in-game name as my pseudo. So Tontonbatteuse. You can find me on Twitter, on Facebook and Instagram, but I'm not really using Instagram. For coaching sessions, I'm currently coaching one or two people from France. Maybe later I will try to coach other players, but I don't really want to do more than one or two people right now. And probably one day I will go on stream on Twitch, but it's not for now. Maybe afterwards.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You might be the first retired players to stream on Twitch.
Yeah.
I read you every 2 months. You said you want to retire, and then
Oh,
you keep winning,
yeah.
and you kept winning. So yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
that was last season. Last season was really awful for me. I was like, yeah, I'll just stop the game, stop the game. I was also telling to someone, I think it was Uden at Stockholm, I was saying to him, yeah, you know what, like, next year we'll play TCG or something like that. I'll just stop Go, and I'm still here.
Yeah, when you
I,
are too good at something, it's also hard to let the game go.
mm, I still I tried to play TCG on the mobile game.
Yeah.
Uh, I did okay. I mean, I say I tried the real one. I don't know how to shuffle a deck. So yeah, you know what? I will not do a tournament TCG if I don't even know how to shuffle a deck. So
Unless you ask
I'll
your
try it
opponent to
later.
do that for you. Yeah.
That can work, yeah.
Okay, so Thomas, merci beaucoup for this interview. It
Yeah.
was nice to have a chat with you about your season and just a thorough recap of how you felt and what were your thoughts during the season. So looking forward to see you in person in California, and yeah, enjoy the rest of your day and see you soon and take care.
Thanks a lot. See you.